So yesterday I made some Snapchats saying if you leave me enough comments that I will give you for free 20-30 minute tutorial on how to beat casinos, how to cheat casinos, how to have advantage play, how to have sharp action. Well, you did it. You commented enough. So I'm here today to give you the guidance, we'll call it. It's not a course. I don't sell courses. I don't have courses. I don't make courses. It's not a lesson. I don't give lessons. I don't really even teach. I just want to help. I have never charged my fans for anything. I've never sold a course. I've never sold a product. I refuse to even sell merch because I don't want my fans to ever spend money on me. It doesn't make sense. I already have money. I don't want your money, right? Now, a thing that I have with influencers is the word influencer means you're influential. You're influencing people. You're influencing the masses. So all these influencers that take $500, $1,000, $5,000, $100,000, doesn't matter, and they push a product onto their fans that the influencer doesn't even use. That sounds like scamming. It sounds like lying and cheating. And it sounds grimy like a scumbag. That's why I don't do paid promo. That's why I don't do brand deals. I just don't. Now, I'm not saying that there's a world where I wouldn't. For example, I rock Section 8. I love Section 8. Shout out Savvy and Mikki. Those are my dogs. And although they've never paid me, if they did pay me, I would probably accept the money because nothing really has to change on my end. I already wear Section 8 every day. Same with Pai Gow, right? I love CEO Kevin, right? That's one of my best friends. He's an amazing human being. And he's given me the freedom to look at anything I want on the back end of Pai Gow. He's given me the freedom to gamble as much as I want, anytime I want, and he'll never ban me. He's also given me the freedom to support me in exposing Pai Gow if there was ever a problem. And to be honest, there's been a few, and I've always talked about it. I posted it on my other platforms before I had Snap, but I use Pai Gow in my personal life, right? I really use that. So I rep them, I support them, all the love. Plus, they throw the sickest parties in the country. The sickest parties in LA, in Vegas, in Miami, in New York. Even if I didn't gamble on Pai Gow, I would still go to those events, those parties. So shout out Pai Gow for all that. Shout out Kevin, love you guys. You guys are just dope human beings that do dope things as a brand. And although you've never paid me, I've still found ways to make money on my own time. You know what I'm saying? That work. It's a copacetic relationship. It just works. So back to what I was saying. I've never sold anything. I don't have a course. I never made a course. I never sold a course. I don't give lessons. I don't teach. I don't do any of that, man. I used to gamble. I got banned from almost every casino in the world for winning too much and exposing them for cheating. I'm a liability. I'm bad for business. And now I just live my life. That's it. So whatever you see of me online, whatever you see of me in the movies and TV shows, whatever you see of me is literally just me living my life. It has nothing to do with gambling. As a matter of fact, I think gambling is one of the least cool parts of my life. But that brings us to where we are today. I want to help you guys. And I will never take money from you guys. So everything I ever gave, ever, in my whole 5 years of being on the internet, has always been for free. That's not going to change today. I'm going to do it for free again. Now, I do want to preface by saying, I don't think you should gamble. I don't think you should wager. I don't think you should bet. I think any money that you were going to take to a casino would be spent better, literally anywhere besides a casino. But a lot of you have never and will never listen to that kind of feedback, that kind of advice, that kind of guidance, that kind of information. So, since most of you are going to do it anyway, despite my very clear warning of do not gamble, let me just try to help you guys the best I can. Here we go. We're going to start at the top. I'm going to teach you guys how to play blackjack. So, there's a lot of versions of blackjack. When you include all the side bets, they are all sucker bets except for one when it comes to the side bets. If you find a casino that has this, you should absolutely play it. In Biloxi, they have this. A couple casinos in Atlantic City have this. And I think there's 2 casinos in Vegas that have this. And I think there's none in LA. And I don't know where else. It's blackjack plus 3. If you ever see that, that's what I'm talking about. It stands for 3-card poker. Using your 2 cards and the dealer's up card before any hits, before any action, right? So the dealer has one face down, one face up. You have 2 face up. Using those 3 face up, if you bet on the side bet, only if it's fixed 9-to-1 payout. The reason for that is there's a lot of casinos that have 21 plus 3, which is 3-card poker, but they're not fixed. So they pay 2-to-1 for trips. They pay 3-to-1 for a flush. They pay 30-to-1 for a straight flush. It goes from 2-to-1 all the way up to 30-to-1. Now, if you can find a casino that has a fixed of 9 to 1. That means, yeah, you're losing some where you could get 10 to 1, 20 to 1, and 30 to 1, but those are so rare. What's super common is the 2 for 1, 3 for 1, 5 for 1, right? So you're getting paid more, getting paid 9 to 1 on the ones that only deserve to get 2 to 1, 3 to 1, 5 to 1, which happen way more frequently, which is why the payouts are so much lower than 30 to 1 versus 2 to 1, right? But you're getting paid 9 to 1 on what should be paid 2 to 1. So if you can find a blackjack table that says 21 plus 3, that means 3-card poker, and you should absolutely play that bonus every single time. Only on fixed 9 to 1 payouts. If it's not fixed, and you find 21 plus 3, and it has 2 to 1, 3 to 1, 5 to 1, 7 to 1, 10 to 1, 20 to 1, 30 to 1, whatever. Those are cool too, by the way. I think those are like decent, but the mathematical edge, the financial edge is on the fixed 9 to 1s. So that's what you should play. If you're at a casino that doesn't have that, you should not play any bonus. By the way, if you ever play at a table that has the dealer bust bet, like the side bet that says dealer bust, and you see anybody playing that, you should know that that person has mental illness. You should know that that's a low IQ human being. You should know that that person is a moron, and you should get away from that table and away from that player as fast as you can. If you bet on the dealer bust side bet, you are dumb. You should quit gambling. You should not bet any side bets almost in any game, almost ever, unless you could find 21 plus 3, the 3-card poker, with fixed 9 to 1. Sometimes if you're feeling a little overzealous, you could play the not fixed 9 to 1. That's an okay bet. There's only one other game that side bets actually make sense, and that's Pai Gow poker, specifically face up Pai Gow. Face down Pai Gow is cool, but you lose a big edge there, and you also have to pay a commission, which is very annoying. Now, there's a psychological piece to when you pay a commission, by the way. So let's say I bet $100, right? I have a stack of $100 chips. These are my chips. That's my bet. I'm betting 1 unit is 1 black chip, $100. $100 is 1 unit. And every time I bet, they go, okay, here's your change. Boom, they have $98 there. They give me, let's see if I have any singles. I don't have singles, but they give me back 2 singles and they go, cool. Here's your here's your $95 bet. Here's your 2 singles, right? So there's 98, whatever, and your $3 thing. What's happening is, when I win, they're only paying me $98. So I'm building a stack of change. What am I supposed to do with the change when my units 1 chip, $100? What happens psychologically is we aren't calculating this. We aren't viewing this as units because it's all broken up into singles. I have this huge pile of singles, and in my head they're useless because I only got them $2 or $3 at a time because of the commission and breaking chips and breaking change. So the psychology is that if they keep giving us small change, that we will spend this as if it's not valuable, even though it is, and it builds up. So when you play Pai Gow, face down Pai Gow has commission, and you lose an edge because you don't get to see the dealer's cards. Face up Pai Gow, you get to see the dealer's cards first, and they make their hand first, so you get to see exactly what the dealer has. Imagine playing blackjack, but the dealer goes first. You have a huge advantage. So face up Pai Gow. Now the thing with that one is, the reason I brought it up is the side bets. So Pai Gow is a game with 7 cards. You take your 7, you make a 2-card poker hand and a 5-card poker hand. Any combination of all 7 of those cards qualify for any of the bonus hands. A bonus hand starts at trips, goes from trips to straight, to flush, to full house, quads, etc., etc., etc. You have 7 cards. It is so easy to hit bonuses playing 7 cards. A lot of big Pai Gow players, including myself, what we'll do is we'll make a bet that looks like this. I'll bet 1,000 on the hand, and I'll bet 1,000 on the bonus. And another thing about Pai Gow, if you're not familiar, is the majority of hands you break even. The only way to win is your 2 cards have to beat the dealer's 2 cards, and your 5 have to beat the dealer's 5, which means the only way to lose is your 2 have to lose to the dealer's 2, your 5 have to lose to the dealer's 5. So because in face up Pai Gow, the dealer goes first, you get to see all the dealer's cards. You get to say, I'm going to arrange my hand where I purposely lose, for example, the 2-card hand to guarantee I win the 5-card, so I push and break even. So the majority of hands you play in all Pai Gow, but particularly face up, are always going to break even. When that happens, is great news because we're only playing for the bonus. I bet $1,000 on the bonus and I bet $1,000 on the hand. So I'm just going to continue to play. If I break even here, I'm hoping to win here. If I lose here, I'm hoping that I can find a way to win here. And I just sort of stay even as long as possible until I hit some bonuses. And the bonuses pay fat. So the majority of hands push. Not hard to win some hands, lose some hands. And you're really just fighting for the bonus. That's really what you're doing in face-up Pai Gow. Besides Pai Gow, and besides 21 plus 3, the 3-card poker version of Blackjack, with fixed 9-to-1 payout on the side bet, and sometimes the 21 plus 3, the 3-card poker Blackjack, without the 9-to-1 fixed odds, are basically the only places to play side bets, not including the bonus versions of Blackjack, like the side bets. Sometimes what they'll do is they'll take the stack of cards, they'll put it in one side of a machine on the side of the table, that whole thing will go down, and then another will pop up, and they take all the cards, put them in, let you cut it, boom, you cut the cards, they put it in the shoe here, which is the plastic container, and they deal. Now, a continuous shuffle doesn't have any of that. What it has instead, on this side of the table, it's a round machine. It's just black plastic cover that's round, so it goes round, like it looks like a shell of a snail. And then, boom, it goes to the table, and you can see a card. And the dealer will just keep throwing the dead cards, boom, into the machine keeps shuffling it, and the shoe never ends. That is the worst type of shuffle machine. Do not play a continuous shuffle machine. If you ever pay attention, those machines are only at the absolute lowest stakes in a casino. One of the reasons for that is, there's a couple reasons. One, because it's the fastest, and that's where it gets the most amount of traffic because most people are broke, right? So most people want to play the lowest limit. They see it, so it has the most traffic. So to save time and make it as fast as possible, they're like, let's do a continuous shuffle. You never have to shuffle. You never have to stop dealing. You just deal. No matter who's sitting there, if there's money, just deal the cards, deal the cards, deal the cards, deal the cards. The second reason is because anybody who plays above the absolute lowest level is too small. There's still a lot of types of blackjack. There is a continuous shuffle. That's where the dealer never shuffles. There's no so often to fall for that trap. That is a trap. The continuous shuffle it's a trick. It's a joke, bro. If you're playing at a table with a continuous shuffle, you're a joke. Ugh. Okay, do not play a continuous shuffle. By the way, they only offer that in Blackjack. Only Blackjack is where the continuous shuffle applies. Don't play it. And if anyone sees you playing there, they already know that you're broke because they're looking at you and they're like, oh, he's playing continuous shuffle. He's broke. She's broke. She don't know what she's doing. That's why she's playing a continuous shuffle machine. Because if she knew what she's doing, she'd be in high limit. For a few dollars more, you could play in high limit. When you play in high limit, playing blackjack in low limit versus playing blackjack in high limit is almost two different games. The reason for that is anybody who plays in high limit has money. Anybody who has money is smart. Anybody who's smart is too smart to be outside in the poor people area. So they go in the rich people area, the high limit, and they see the tricks and they go, I'm not playing if you're doing this. I won't play if you do that. I'll only play if you do this. And over time, they basically built the rules to cater to high limit players. The thing is, a lot of casinos, you can find a $50 table minimum in high limit. So you're playing, call it 15 to 25, sometimes $50 or $100 in low limit. For $50, sometimes $100, you can play in high limit. And you have a whole new set of rules that are favorable for the player. I would say it's worth the investment to go play in high limit because you have a different set of rules that will help you. Here's a little tip that I'll give you. You have to remove your ego. It doesn't matter if you know the answers. It doesn't matter how smart you are, how smart you think you are, how many answers you think you know. Always talk to the casino staff like you have no idea what's going on. Ask them really dumb questions because the truth is casinos want to trick you all the time. And they like tricking people with ignorance. Some casinos have dealers that hit on soft 17. Some they don't. Some have blackjack payouts 6 to 5. Some are 3 to 2. 3 to 2 is 1.5. You bet 1,000, you get blackjack, you win 1,500, right? But some only pay you 6 to 5. Some let you split as many times as you want. Some have restrictions on how many times you can split. Some let you double down after you split. Some don't let you double down after you split. So instead of going in there with your big dick and acting like you know what's going on and da-da-da, I don't care if you know what's going on. When I tell you that I probably know every single thing that there is to know about gambling, I mean it. I would still, when I was gambling, I would still go into every casino, even a casino I've been to 100 times, because they change rules also. Now I'll give you a breakdown about how the Venetian changes the rules to hurt certain players. And they do it very specifically, do it against each player, and it's very, very evil. And I learned that early on. Go in there every time you play and just ask dumb questions. Be like, hey, what's the rules? Be like, hey, is there anything I should know about? Hey, can I gain mortgages? We're talking about buying McLarens and Lamborghinis. We're talking about buying houses. We're talking about FU money. We're talking about paying your bills and changing your life. Who cares about the ego? This is work, dog. This is a career. This is work. This is full-time. This is not for fun. This is not entertainment. If it is for fun and entertainment, great. What I'm teaching you, you don't really need to know. You can take it lighthearted, have fun. No problem. For me, this was how I made a living. I made tens of M's, bro. Life-changing money. I would go in there, no matter how much I owe. I never graduated high school. That's true. I got my GED while incarcerated. That's true. I took my SATs while incarcerated. That's true. I look as dumb as it gets. My background says I'm as dumb as it gets. When I talk to people in casinos, I act as dumb as I can. And they believe that I'm as dumb as I made them, as I want them. They think I'm as dumb, right? And they try to take advantage of you when you're dumb. The dumber they think you are, the lazier they get. The lazier they get when they're trying to manipulate you, the easier you can see through all their games, all their holes, all their tricks. And the easier you can exploit them and use their stuff, their words, their tricks. You can use it all against them. You just got to stay sharp. And who cares what they think? Just do what you got to do. We're talking about life-changing money. The one type of blackjack that I would recommend everybody play is double-deck blackjack. They have single deck. Don't play it. It's a waste of time. I think they only deal 12 hands per shoe. Total waste of time. They have 6 deck, which is the most common version of blackjack. It's called shoe blackjack. That's what it's called. Shoe blackjack is 6 deck blackjack. 6 decks shuffled together per shoe blackjack. It's pretty high. It's the most common. It's totally standard. It's regular, mid, average, go-to, most common. It's mad regular. No shame, no problem. They have an 8 deck. 8 deck is almost as bad as the continuous shuffle. And that's, by the way, this is the order. Ready? Because continuous is the worst. It's the best type of blackjack you can play. Double deck blackjack is the most advantageous for the player. Here's a couple ways that you can know that. Most casinos don't even offer double deck. They only offer 6 deck. If double deck was better for the casino, they would just make every table double deck and they wouldn't even offer 6 deck. The casinos that do offer double deck have usually like 1 table in high limit of double deck. Maybe 1 or 2 tables in like the medium level high limits. Like that. Like the more expensive tables outside high limit. I would say like 99+% of all the blackjack tables in every casino are 6 deck. And they rarely offer double deck. If double deck was so much better for the casino, they would make every blackjack table double deck. They wouldn't even offer 6 deck. But for some reason, most don't offer double deck. Why do most not offer double deck blackjack? And the ones that do only have usually 1 table. It's because it's the player's advantage. And sharp players know that, which is why they seek casinos that have double deck. So some casinos say to themselves, we're going to lose players if we don't offer double deck. And some casinos say, we're going to lose money if we do offer it. And so they have to pick their poison. Do they want to offer 1 double deck player to try to bring in some players? Or do they want to offer none so they can try to just not lose money? Find a casino that has double deck blackjack. Go play that one, particularly in high limit. That is all of the best advantages for you. All right, let's talk about some play strategy. If a dealer is showing a 7 or above and you have a 16, stop being a pussy. You're not a genius. You're not some wizard. You're a pussy. Hit your 16s. Just hit them. You're not going to win every hand no matter what. So no matter what, just take the hit. There are more 10s than any other card in the deck. No question. So if you take a 10, no problem. In the next hand, you'll probably still get your first card dealt a 10. And if you don't take a 10, you either make a hand on your 16 or you just saved yourself from getting a medium bad card on your next hand. If you have a 16 and the dealer is showing 7 or above, hit your 16. Just hit it, bro. Go down swinging. This is what anytime I see somebody stand on a 16, this is literally what I envision. They're getting beat up by somebody, they're in a fist fight, and they do this. That's what it looks like to me to stand on a 16. Someone's punching you and you go, you're a pussy. Go down swinging. I don't care if homeboy's bigger than you. I don't care if he can throw harder than you. I don't care if you know that he's going to beat you in this fist fight. If I see you get into a fight and you do this, you're a pussy. You ain't rocking with me. That's not good for me. Let's talk about doubling down. For those of you that don't know what doubling down is, it's when you're playing blackjack and let's say you bet $100. You can bet any amount you want, whatever your bet is. Let's pretend it's $100 in this example. You bet $100 and you say double down. What you do is you put another $100. Technically, you can do it for less. You can double for any amount you want minimum up to and limited, like restricted at matching your original bet. What happens is you have to do it as your first action. You cannot split, hit, stand. You can't do anything and then double. Doubling has to be your first action. So when you get a hand, you say double down, you should max out. The point is to max. This is where you win all your money, is in doubles and splits. That's really where you win all your money. So when a dealer's dealing and you have a hand, for example, if you get dealt an 11, like a 7-4, an 8-3, a 5-6, whatever, you always want to double down no matter what on an 11. So if you bet the $100, your first action before you hit, before you do anything, you say double down and you match the bet. You put another $100 out. Now we're going to talk about some ranges of doubling. So these are my double ranges. If a dealer has a 4, 5, 6 against my 9, 10, 11, I'm going to double. The optimal double is a player's 11 against a dealer's 6. The next optimal is a player's 11 against a dealer's 5. The third optimal is a dealer's 11 against a dealer's 4. The next optimal is a player's 10 against a dealer's 6. You get it, right? If a dealer has 4, 5, 6 and a player has 9, 10, 11, that's the best range, right? 11 against a 6, 11 against 5, 11 against 4, 10 against 6, 10 against 5, 10 against 4, 9 against 6, 9 against 5, 9 against 4. Those are your ranges. Now, there are some times that doubling happens outside of that. So if you ever have one of those doubling ranges, do it. You want the maximum amount of money. You want to play as aggressively as you can. By the way, a style that I play as big as I possibly can, as hard as I can, as fast as I can. I'm uber aggressive, and I get out as fast as possible. And the bigger you play, let's say you want to win $1,000, but you're betting $25 a time, right, per hand. You're never gonna, bro, it's going to take you forever to win $1,000. It's going to be so hard. You have to get so lucky and win so many hands. But if you want to win $1,000 and you're betting $250 a hand, you only have to win 4 hands. And probably one of those will be a double or a split, so you really only have to win 3 hands. I play as big as I possibly can, as fast. I play uber aggressive, incredibly aggressive, and I get out as soon as possible. Oh, by the way, when you gamble, you should always go in with a win-loss, a stop win, and a stop loss. You should go in knowing, hey, I'm going to take a break if I get down to a certain point, and I'm going to go home if I get to a certain point. And stay disciplined, okay? We're not doing this for entertainment. We're doing this to turn a profit. We're trying to make money, right? I'm trying to pay bills. I'm trying to fly some hoes to Jamaica. You know what I'm saying? Stay disciplined. So the other doubling that you should do is what's called a soft hand. When you have ace X, that's a soft hand. In blackjack, you need 18.55. You need that to be your hand. 18.55 is the average in the law of large numbers to be an average winner. 18.5 is what you need, right? So if you sit there with an 18, in the long term, you have a loser. If you sit there with a 19, in the long term, you have a winner. If you ever have a 19 or a 20, and obviously a 21, and you ever screw that hand up, I hope you lost your money, I hope you go broke, and I hope you don't have gas money to go home. If you have a 19 or a 20, and obviously a 21, do not screw your hand up. But if you have an 18 or lower, just know you're either fighting for your life or you're holding on for dear life. So when it comes to soft hands, if you have an ace 8, you have a soft 19. You have, in the long run, a winning hand. Ace 8 is a 19. You're going to stand 10 out of 10 times. You have ace 8, you always stand. If you have ace 7, which is an 18, which in the long run is a losing hand, you're going to hit more times than you're going to stand. Now, it depends on the dealer's cards. If you have an ace 7 and the dealer has a 7 or an 8, you're going to stand. If the dealer has a 9 or a 10, you're gonna hit. If a dealer has a 6, 5, or 4, you're gonna double. If the dealer has a 3 or a 2, I'm gonna let you decide. You're either gonna hit or you're gonna double. To be honest with you, I know I play uber aggressive, but I usually lean towards a stand in that spot. It's totally up to you. Either decision you make would be correct. Either decision would not be wrong. It's up to you. It's your money. If you feel like being very aggressive, double those. If you don't, just hit them. That's fine. Totally acceptable in that position to hit or double. Choice is yours. If you have ace 7 against a dealer's deuce or 3. Split aces. If you get dealt ace, split them. That's it. If a dealer's showing a 10, doesn't matter. You have 2 chances to get 110. If you get 110, you're guaranteed to break even, basically, unless the dealer has some crazy hand and pulls for a 21, in which case it's a push for your 21, but that's pretty rare. If you have 2 aces, no matter what, you don't even have to see the dealer's hand. It doesn't matter. Whatever the dealer has is not relevant. If you have 2 aces, split them every time. All you're doing is praying for 1 face card. If you get 1, the next hand's a total free roll. And if you win, great. Extra money, and if you lose, it's fine. It's going to break even anyway. You're going to win your 21, you're going to lose that hand. Who cares? Everybody says to split eights. I don't like that. I don't do that. I disagree. You need 18.55 in the law of large numbers to be an average winner long-term in blackjack. 18.55 or above. So if you have 8-8 and you split, statistically and realistically, the best you're going to get is an 18 and an 18. Now, you have 2 losing hands. I'd rather have a 16, which is 8-8, 1 losing hand, than 18-18, 2 losing hands that cost me twice as much amount of money. I don't want to lose twice. I'd rather lose once. There are certain times that I'll split 8s, 8-8, but it's always going to be dependent on the dealer's hand. They say always split aces and 8s. That's definitely not true. It's mathematically wrong. You're going to lose more money than you have to. I actually rarely split 8s. I almost always just take a hit. I just look at it as a 16. Yeah, I have a losing hand, but I'd rather 1 losing hand than 2 losing hands. And I just hit my 16. Again, contingent upon the dealer's hand, but usually. Next is a game called Ultimate Texas Hold'em, UTH. This is a carnival game. It's a table game. It's played in a casino against the dealer, against the house. This is not poker with your buddies or poker with your friends and homegirls. It's called Ultimate Texas Hold'em, and it's you versus the house. You versus the dealer. Just like the same way in Blackjack is set up, same thing. Now here's a way to gain an edge in that game. Here's a guaranteed way to increase your edge and help you make money. It's not illegal. You won't get arrested. It's not cheating. It's advantage play. They have 6 slots on those tables and 5 seats usually. And they do that because sometimes a person likes to play more than 1 hand. You plus 4 people, a total of 5 people. You're all going to come together and you're going to all put in the same amount of money. I used to do this with my buddies. We used to each put in 100K, but you can do any amount you want. You can all put in $1,000. It doesn't matter. A total of 5 people. You're all going to meet up before you go to the casino. And you're all going to pool your money. So you all buy in for the same amount. That way when you cash out, you split equally. You're not going to tell the casino you're doing this. You're not going to talk about it in front of anybody. You're not going to talk about it at the table. You're not going to do that. You're going to pool your money before you go to the casino. You and your buddies, you and your friends, you're going to get together. And you're going to pick a number. How much are we buying in for? You're going to split it 5 ways. You're all going to put the money in together. You show up to the casino as if you guys don't know each other. Boom, 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 boom. You're going to find whoever's there first has to find a completely empty UTH table. They sit down. Then the next guy sits down, the next guy, the next guy, the next guy. Until all 5 of you are sitting at the same table. There's no strangers there. It's just you and your 4 buddies all sharing money. You're the only ones at the table. You're all going to run the same exact betting lines, by the way. You're all going to run table max. If you're buying in 100K each, you're always going to bet the most you can. If you're not buying in that much, if you're buying in for $1,000, if you're buying in for $10,000, whatever, you all have to talk about it while you're still at the house putting your money together before you get to the casino. How much is our unit? You're all going to pick an amount that you're going to bet, and you're going to bet the exact same amount every hand. If anybody doesn't bet the same amount, you've completely screwed everybody. You've screwed your friends, or your friends screwed you, and this will not work. They're robbing you. If one of your guys doesn't bet the same amount, they're robbing you. You have to pick a number, whatever you're going to bet. You go in there, the 5 of you are going to take a table by yourselves, so it's only you guys. You're going to act like you don't know each other. You're going to act like you just met there. You're going to act like you're just becoming friends, whatever. You're not going to tell anybody that you met up at your house before that to talk about this and conspire to do this. You're not going to tell anyone that you pooled your money. The 5 of you are going to take a table by yourself. You're going to pick a number. You're all going to bet the exact same amount every single hand. When the cards get dealt, all 5 of you will look at each other's cards. Nobody's to talk about it. You can do it fast and glance. Calculate your outs. For example, if I have pocket aces, I'm going to think my next bet will be I think it's 3x and 4x. My next bet will be a 4x bet, which is max bet. That's the most I'm allowed to bet as my first action. Well, technically second action, but I would think pocket aces would be the best. Everybody would think that. Until I look at my neighbor and I realize one of my neighbors has an ace deuce and my other neighbor has an ace 6. All the aces are gone. I cannot improve with probability. Statistically, I will not improve, and my aces are actually absolute garbage. Let's say not only that, I have pocket aces, one of the guys has ace deuce, and the guy's ace 6. My ace is an ace of heart, my other ace is an ace of spade, and I look at all the cards and I notice everybody has hearts, everybody has spades, somebody has an ace deuce, somebody has an ace 6. For sure, my aces are not going to improve. I'm not going to 4x that. I'm going to check that down and bet minimum unless something magical on the table happens, such as trips get dealt. If trips get dealt, sure, I have a full house now that I really only lose to quads or a bigger full house. Then I'm going to bet max. So I'm going to check down unless something magical happens on the table. Let's say I have a 4-5. Right? Normally, I think that's a trash hand. I look at all my buddies, they look at my hand, and we all calculate real quickly the outs. Nobody has a 4, nobody has a 5, nobody has ace deuce, nobody has 6, 7, and my suit is completely live. I have a great hand. I know that all my outs are in that deck, and the likelihood of being dealt my outs are very great. I'm going to max bet my 4-5. Now, it's not about an individual player. There's 5 of you. It doesn't matter if one of you wins. It doesn't matter if you're the winner. None of that matters. What matters is overall in the long term, as a group, you've left with more money than you went in with. Then you go, cool, no problem. Thank you guys for playing. You all slowly stop playing. One at a time, you guys take your turn. Mind you, you guys have to act like you didn't know each other beforehand. You all cash out. You'll keep each amount that you cashed out. One of you might have lost most of the money. One of you might have won more money. Some of you might have broke even. You all take your own amount of money. You go back to the house you started at, and you go, let's put all the cash together, count it. If you bought in for 100K, and now, you're receiving 125K, each one of you made 25K. That's great. You all bought in for 1,000. You're all receiving 1,250 back. You all made $250. It's a surefire way to just increase your odds. Now, here's the trick of it. The trick is you can only do this for 30 to 45 minutes at a time. The reason for that is those shuffle machines are allowing a lot of times the players to win in the beginning because they're trying to sucker you in. And then they start dealing you what's called coolers, like really bad beats. Like you have a full house. You're like, oh, I'm obviously going to win. Boom, you bet big. All of a sudden, dealer opens his hand. Dealer has a better full house. And you're like, how is that even possible? The likelihood is super slim. That tipping point is usually around 30 to 45 minutes. So you have to make sure that you do all of this within 30 to 45 minutes. And then you're out. And whatever you have, congratulations, you turned a profit, hopefully, Bro, I have so much more great stuff that I can give you guys, but I've been going on for about an hour. So I'll tell you what, leave a comment now if you like the information I just taught you and you want me to do it again tomorrow. If you want me to do this again tomorrow, leave a comment now because I have pages more of information. I have pages. This was Blackjack. I gave you that. The top half of this page is UTH. I gave you that. So I have so much more that I plan on teaching you guys today. Well, we've already been at this for an hour. So if you want me to teach you the rest of the list I made today and then continue to create and add on more to this list, leave a comment now and try to convince me that this was worth an hour of my life that I don't get paid for, I don't make money on, but you will make money on.